Confidence within Overwatch is something that I have found is lacking within the VODs I've been reviewing lately. While it might not be a problem for some players, it really plagues the improvement for others. That being said, hopefully this VOD can help out some players that are struggling in the player base. Before I get into this video though, I just want to thank everybody for supporting the channel a ton recently. We are almost at 700 subs on YouTube and 1.1k followers on Twitch, and I really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you like and subscribe to boost the momentum even further. And if you'd like to get your own VOD featured on the channel, head on over to my Fiverr. Details and link will be in the description, but let's get right into it. I'm hoping, it's a 15-minute VOD, we should be able to get through this all, so. Before we get into it, let's see the comp. Your comp's a little weird. I would probably merit playing a Brig or a Mercy instead of Zen, but like you said, Ana and Zen are your favorite characters, so like I'm totally fine with this, especially within ladder, because you can really carry on Zen. So I'm not really gonna, especially if you're saying that this VOD was in silver, I don't think I'm gonna really harp upon team comp as much as just like making sure that you're doing as well as you can, because in these types of ranks, silver and masters most specifically, that's when you really have to carry with yourself, on support at least. But let's get into it. Okay. And if I don't say anything for the first few fights, it's just because I'm trying to figure out the main thing I really want to harp on in this one. So you place your orb on Ryan, that's good. Already starting with good orb up time. Wow, your teammate just got rolled by that hog. That's good aim. Okay. Left clicking shields, good. Okay, we're chilling, keeping orb up time really strong and solid. You're a little exposed every time. Okay, I see a problem. So, okay. Two things. We just started Cool Cat. So when you're playing in a Ryan v Ryan matchup, or an Orisa v Orisa matchup, or really just any matchup in general, when you see a tank, an opportunity to discord the tank, that's like a really important thing to do. Because what that does is it forces the tank to play a lot slower and give up a lot of space because of the threat of the boosted damage on them. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, tank.
Yeah. And like in this rank specifically, their Ryan probably isn't going to understand that, and then you're going to get like free damage on the Ryan and pretty much just win the fight consistently. So like you pretty much just make it 35% more, or whatever the Discord is at this point. I think it was 35%. Maybe it's 30. I don't know. 30 or 35% easier to win the fight, because killing the Ryan, especially in a Ryan v Ryan matchup, you just win. Usually it's only 25 now. Oh, well, whatever. It makes it a percentage easier to win the fight. So like right there, when your hog hooks, you should immediately be dropping whatever you're doing and discord that Ryan as quickly as possible here, because he would have died probably, or at least been like a lot lower HP and not have any armor, which is really important. So here, that's just one thing I'm thinking here. The other thing here is that well, no, you're not super exposed. Okay, you're just chilling. That's fine. The Discord there just needs to be a little quicker, especially when like you can see a hog. Just making sure your orb up time is like up as much as possible on tanks specifically would be really nice. While right there it wouldn't have really helped keep your hog alive, it's something that you want to get into the habit of, because imagine your hog actually lives there, you put the orb on him, and then he wins the 1v1. Okay, you're just kind of chilling, taking a secluded angle so you don't die. Putting that orb on the Rhine probably would be nice. You want to make sure that your orb up time is just that's something that's going to be a big theme, because a lot of Zens don't do it correctly, is just making sure your orb is on something at all times when possible. Okay, you put it on the Echo. Rotate it to the Rhine, that's good. Okay. Little tunnel visioned on that Genji. I think if you rotate to the right side and make sure you're trying to pressure out the tanks, that's a really good idea. Because here's the thing, Zen's projectile doesn't have damage fall off, but the projectile is pretty hard to hit. So tanks being bigger targets, you can kind of maximize your value, especially in these ranks. A lot easier. Which you do eventually rotate. It could have been a little quicker though. play cover pretty well, which is surprising. Just kind of left clicking, looking for some spam damage. We discord the Rhine, it's good. I would argue you could have been a little more aggressive here. But yeah, so... I don't know if I want to say anything about that. Okay, well, I will. So, this is a really hard concept, though, to learn. In general, like, moving forward here, the main thing I want you to do is just make sure you're focusing on, like, keeping orb uptime as maximize to the greatest extent that you can, right? But for this Rhine, I would put the orb in him immediately. And the reason, like, here's the thing, the whole theory behind, like, there's two things that you can think of Zen's orb about, which is efficiency in terms of, like, how much healing in terms of, like, the overall heals you're going to get. So, like, the most efficient person to put your orb on would be a squishy, like a DPS, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is if your Echo's in the back line not taking any damage and it's just kind of poking, that's not an effective orb. Because you're not actually getting heals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, right here, while putting your healing orb on the Reinhardt isn't necessarily efficient because of how much health he has, it's the most effective because he's the one that's in front taking all of this damage right now. Like, the whole team's looking at him. Does that kind of make sense?
It totally makes sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It does, it does.
It does, okay, good. So, like, to put this into perspective, a comp that this idea is going to be used a lot more. I don't know if how much of, like, high level ladder you've watched in the past. But when, like, Zen Mercy comps were really strong, it was Zen Mercy, Echo, Ashe, Ball, Sig, I think it was. That was a little, like, maybe half a year back. It was very common to put the Orb of Harmony, just, like, defaulting it to Ball, because the Ball is going to be engaging a lot. So, like, he's going to be taking most of the damage anyways, and then the Mercy can kind of focus on damage boosting. It's a very weird concept to learn. I wouldn't put too much emphasis on it now, but I do want it to be in the back of your head for when you're, like, kind of looking back on your own, to kind of be like, while this, in theory, is, like, the most efficient, is it the most effective?
Yeah, I know. I just want to say, like we talked earlier, I do feel my the way I've been playing it last week is not the best, and these are things that I usually pay attention to, but I completely forgot.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, I just want to preface this. Like, what I'm telling you right now, like, I did not do when I was playing in, like, tier 2 scrims. Like, I didn't understand that concept, and it took time for me to learn. So, like, this stuff, it's really, like, I really like telling or enjoy teaching this kind of stuff to people early so that it's something that they just know, and then, because it's a higher level concept that you can kind of apply in a lot of different scenarios. It just, like, if you're thinking about this stuff already, that's great. Just want to make sure that I'm really giving it to you, because, like, that's really important. But let me take a second to read chat. Yo, I watched one of your YouTube vids, the stuff about Path to Pro and... Oh, hold up. The stuff about Path to Pro and your BAP guide, really great YouTuber, deserve more subs. Dude, I really appreciate it, actually. The BAP guide I felt a little iffy about, but it seems like a lot of people liked it. Yeah, I stopped playing Path to Pro for now, but maybe I'll come back after Overwatch 2. I don't know. Please nerf Kree. I think reverting it to 200 is fine, but... Yeah. Didn't even announce that you're shooting... Oh, I didn't! Shoot! I'm sorry, hold up. My bad. Bad streamer, okay. So we understand that. Big things I'm seeing right now, amongst other things, just orb uptime and making sure that you're thinking about your orbs and how they look. Because if you put it on him earlier, maybe he doesn't live, but maybe he does an extra 2 swings to that Rhine, and then it swings the fight a little harder. And then overall they win the fight because they're trans. Okay. Left clicking, Genji. Alright. So obviously aim wasn't the best, but I'm not going to hold it against you because, like, again, you're not actually the highest level ever, and there's aim routines that can really help that. Okay, nice work. So here's my problem with rotating this way. It's okay if they're down a few more people, but I think just getting out's a little bit more important. Because if they're down like their Rhine or something, I could actually get behind you being aggressive and trying to carry the fight, but their Rhine is still alive, so the hero play is just going to get you staggered. Not something that you really have to, like, this is very situational, but it's just something we should look at. Wait, your Rhine's already back? Okay, never mind, you're fine. My bad. I didn't think your Rhine would be back that fast. What's up, your question? How you doing? Oh, please don't tell me he's going for the fuck. Like, I kind of like the angle you're going, but your Rhine faked you out hard. So I would rotate with your Rhine to actually get into this sight line here. Yeah, it really depends on where your Rhine's going. I don't really think this is as big of a mistake for you, but like you have to kind of play with what your team's doing. Because your Rhine initially took this space, right? So you wanted to kind of play back here to get a lot of value, but if your Rhine's going to go this way, you're going to have to rotate back to this sight line. Because right now you're going to probably die to the Genji and Kree. Sabertooth with the tier 1 sub. That's for 3 months. Much love, dude. I really appreciate it. You hate me? Why do you hate me? I'm sorry, dude. Okay. So making sure you're playing with what you got, because you probably die here. Yeah, so like in higher levels, this would be fine-ish. I mean, still it's a mistake. You could still die. But the thing is that if the Genji pushes that, your whole team just kills the Genji and Kree for free. The problem is in this rank, your teammates are not going to do that. So minimizing your mistake to begin with, probably more important there. Because here's the thing, at a higher level, the Genji would have just came in, came out, you're fine. Or the Rhine would have swung around. But you have to play with what you got. And really go for the best.
The cycle begins anew.
So like, so far, I know that VOD reviews can be a little taxing on the brain, but right now you're not doing bad. You could be doing better though. Just with any other player. Just want to, like, there are redeeming qualities to this.
But I say, if you feel free to really roast and really find every little mistake that I make. I've got no problem. I really like the strategy behind Overwatch, and every small mistake you'd like to point out, feel free to do it.
Okay. I mean, some stuff it's like, it's hard to point out a mistake when it could have been caused by different things, and in VOD reviews it's, I mean, there's different styles, but that's a really good pick. So, aggression. Trying to poke out the Kree a little bit. That's cool. I'd poke him out until he's too pressured and then keep rotating in. This is fine. Okay. Where's your Ryan? He just got slammed. Okay. I'm okay with that, I guess. This is very odd. That fight just should have gone so differently. Because, like, I think you're really tunnel visioned on this Kree, and what I mean is that you're focusing on him a little bit too hard. Because the moment he rotates off that high ground, I would just let him go, and then take the sightline that your Ryan's giving you. Because by going back here, you're not really helping your team on the front line, and in Brawl, you're just trying to get as much damage on this Ryan as possible. To build off of that, can I get back? Your whole team gets shattered, I'm pretty sure. And in a higher level, this is an instant fight loss. Like, your team should lose this here. It just so happens that you get lucky and get some picks. And in this situation, I'd be immediately trying to trans and then blocking the Ryan's pin. But the thing is, I can't really micro that because you weren't there in the situation. Because maybe you could have just damaged it. That, I, like, a little too focused on that Kree, and it kind of could have hindered the fight a lot more. Let's keep going. See, like, I like this. You saw a tank, and you Discord. And now that their Rhine is dead, you can be really, really aggressive with your Rhine, take aggressive angles. This is really good, because you're not staying too far up, staying back. again, another really high level thing. If it's a Nano Blade and they can win the fight, I'm for this trans. In this situation though, the Mercy's in the backline not damage boosting this blade. So I think that you using trans is wrong here.
Yeah.
I think you hold on to it and let even if you die at this rank, I think you just hold on to it and let your team kill this blade. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to work in silver, but I think it's the right play to get used to in the long run. Because you guys definitely won this fight already.
The moment they used trans, I felt it was wrong. I knew I shouldn't have used trans.
Yeah,
I've just been waiting for trans for the blade for the entire game. So
I get that. I mean, because there's no way this Genji kills all 6, but you understand it. So yeah, that Genji, cool man. Here's the thing, Lion. What silver Genji is going to slice through 6? Even without trans up. Like, I just don't think it's gonna happen. Yep, discording the hog. I like it. Keeping the orb on the Rhine. Looking for damage. Okay, cool. Great plays right now. Left clicking the hog. Good stuff. Yep, you do not lack our object permanence. You knew that the Mercy would still be there. That's great. Okay, you're still staying behind. Staying on point. Making sure you're trying to maximize your sightline. Like, that wasn't silver gameplay. I would at least give that plat.
can I say something right now?
Yeah.
The last 30 seconds of playing was usually how I played in the last few seasons. I started to change things in the last season, and I still was silver and gold for like 4 seasons straight. So I'm not really sure what my other problems are. Just wanted to point that out.
Okay, I mean, a lot of it's just like staying alive longer and getting more out of yourself. Which, that one thing with aim, like, I'll give you a routine that will definitely help you out in the long run. Which, I mean, with Zen, it's like, put matters into your own hands, just straight frag. It's gonna take a little more time to really see something that's blaringly obvious, but like this isn't bad. It's just, you could be getting more with your aim and stuff, which is really important on Zen. Sadly enough, but this isn't bad by any means. Like, you're spamming good angles. I would spam harder left clicking down that, but that's so picky. I think you're. No, that's fine. Make sure you're trying to left click that shield then. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it because your Ryan is just being so aggressive. In this, I don't know if you're in chat or if he's in chat. If you guys both are, just making sure that if you're gonna trans there, that he continues the aggression and doesn't backpedal. Making sure you're really egoing that and being like,
Yeah,
dude, just
I
push.
I think I called that we should push with runs if he wants to push with runs, and then he charged in. If I'm not mistaken.
The only reason why you're transing here is because he is engaging extremely hard when he shouldn't be. I don't think engaging with trans is ever the right idea. I think making them think they won the fight and then transing and then doing an Uno reverse, that's good. This is like, don't get into the habit of engaging with trans though, because you're losing out like 2 seconds walking in when you just don't need to. Okay, and then that happens. So like, the problem with here is that you didn't use the last second of trans to get back into a better position.
Yeah, I know.
So like, trans here, you should use this second here to get around this corner. But you stay here in the open, and then you're gonna get shattered and punished for it. You die here. This is the difference between, I guess, silver and gold. I mean, this will help you a lot, and you'll see the difference. I don't think it's the only difference, but this will definitely help a lot. Because you dying is bad in any scenario at all. Just using that rotation to not die, very important.
Yeah, almost always use my last few seconds to come back to power.
Yeah, I mean, it's just making a habit of it, so you really don't have to think about it. Because like, while that mistake, I mean, like that mistake just can't. It needs to be second nature. So like, just practicing it, making sure that it eventually becomes second nature is really important. Good headshot on the Reaper, forces him out. Make sure you're orbing the Hog earlier there when you have the chance. He should still live though. Okay, this is good. So you got 2 picks. You should be telling your team, push up. You should be pushing up, which you hopefully do. Yeah. You guys already won this fight. You should be calling aggression super hard. Your Ashe gets the idea, but the rest of the team does not. Yeah. Just need to be taking space as your team, as a team there. Kind of chilling. I would be chilling in this area where your Ana is, so that you can shoot left in that angle, or play right here where my cursor is. Can you see that?
Yeah.
You're playing over here to shoot that way. At either one of the spawns, but I prefer the other ones. Playing up here isn't bad either, I guess. This is a little too far back. I think being more engaged in the fight could be used. I don't think you need to be this far. Discording the Rhine, really important. Leaping behind, yeah. So like, you're so far behind, and your team is so oblivious that the Reaper can just kind of walk on you. I think playing a little closer is good. Am I the only one with a thick line on the hair because of headphones? No. See that shit? And that's not my hairstyle. That's just because of my headphones. That's a completely normal thing. Hanzo. Okay, you're just chilling. Big trans. That's good. I like that. That was good. Pushing forward for your Rhine a little sooner would have been good. A little bit sooner.
I don't think I should have pushed the trans for Rhine. He overextended like crazy, and that cost me my life.
So here's the thing. You trans here. Now your team is fine. You can still keep rotating. Like they should not kill that, right? I mean, certainly your Rhine shouldn't be that far. So like right here, your Ana's back up. You guys should be fine. I would still be pushing forward to help your Rhine with these 3 seconds left. You'd have been there now, giving him the heals he needed to stay alive a little bit longer, and being able to back up to this position here. Again, a very difficult route to just think of. But now that the idea's in your head, maybe you can look back and kind of understand that. Here's the thing. It's not as much on you here as it is on your Rhine. But at this level, you really need to just maximize your carry potential as much as possible. It doesn't need to be like Grandmaster level of carry, because it's silver, but like a platinum level of carry, which is super attainable out of seeing all the other, after seeing your other gameplay as well so far. It's not bad by any means. Eventually you get grabbed. Even if you didn't get grabbed, you would have died here. And you probably will die. You don't die. Huh! You're a little close. No, you're fine. Because your Rhine should be pushing with Nano right now. I think, like, you're really tunnel visioned on DPS. In this situation, I think it's fine. You just need to be more efficient so you can kill it quicker. Because, I mean, that's going to help you so you can just refocus on that front line. Cool.
Still used to discord in tanks and spamming left click to charge ult charge, but it hasn't been working for a few seasons, so I'm not really sure what to do. But just so you know, I basically know this.
Yes. Here's the thing, like, you can know it, but like, if it's still a problem, I'm still like, it's just what I'm seeing, and it's really important that you get it like down pat.
Yeah, alright. Makes sense.
Because like focusing the Reaper for as long as you did, it just needs to be quicker. I wouldn't really worry about how fast you're farming your trans, because if you're more focused on let me support the tank line and make sure that they're weaker than my tank line, then you will in turn actually be generating more trans. I think that the way that you think, or the way we're thinking about it, where it's like let's get trans fast, is the wrong way to think about it, because that's something that will happen because of something that we're doing, not the reason. I don't know if that makes sense, but I want to keep going so I can get the full game in, or at least most of it. Okay. Calling out the Reaper's really all you need to do. If he's that oblivious, yeah, whatever. Now you have to take see, that's good. That is optimal. That's really hard because that was 2 headshots, but that is optimal. I like that because now you can focus right back on that Rhine, and what you do. Pushing back if your Rhine's pushing back because you'll die now. Yep. I'm pretty sure that's straightforward. You can see that. Oh god, your team's still taking that fight. Oh, because you have 12 seconds. Yeah, I'm not really gonna coach this fight because it's just such a shit show.
Yeah, sure.
Wait, it lasted for that long? Whatever. It was such a weird fight that's just not even. So like, trying to think here. Like, what can I really say? How low is your sensitivity? I've been kind of realizing it. Like, what is it?
It's quite low. It's 800 DPI with 4 in-game cents.
I run 806, so that's actually pretty normal. That's actually like that's a lower sends, right? But a lot of, I had like one of the highest sends out of all the flex supports that I was playing against, so I think that's fine. How big's your mouse pad? Is it big enough?
It's pretty big, yes.
Okay.
I'm just getting used to it. It's a new one, so.
Gotcha. They have 2 scripted on their team? What? I'm confused. Oh yeah, they do. Alright. So, if they had a Widow there, you are dead. Just wanted to point that out. So, don't kill yourself there. Make sure you're at least strafing around the corner, peeking and not making it so telegraphed. Super nitpicky, but, you know.
Killed so many widows in that exact spot. Is that a bad habit?
Huh?
I killed many widowmakers in that exact spot. Is that?
Yeah,
simply
but
a bad
here's the
habit?
thing. The way that you could do it, and the way you should do it at higher level, is before the round, like 3 seconds or however much it's going to take to charge it. Just charge it so that right in time, when the door opens, you peek here, do your volley, come back. The problem with staying here is that you're just looking at her, she sees you, she will line up the sight, or the shot, and then just do this. Dink! Alright guys, let's go. It's just like, while I do agree with it, 100% good volley to go for. Don't make it so easily telegraphed because like you're just standing still waiting to die. Also, like the way you're positioning yourself, I think just playing up here is better. It's really nitpicky. It's not really the focus of the VOD review, but like this high ground is so strong for Ana and Zen. Obviously, it makes it harder to rotate, or the rotations are a little bit more complicated, but I don't know. What is Zarya Diva supposed to do here? That's a really good question. I don't know. I've never seen Zarya Diva, but maybe they're getting ready for Overwatch 2. I don't know. But let's keep. I mean, yeah, there's really no reason to be running that. I mean, but let's see what they do. So you have the Rhine advantage, in which, yeah, that's just gonna take time to learn when he teleports out. I don't like where you are. Actually, this isn't awful. What's up, Timid? Because like you. I don't want to say anything because I actually might be playing this wrong. Because I play really aggressively, and in a Rhine v Rhine matchup, when the Rhine 1v1 goes like here, I'm the type of guy in scrims where I would always just go for a sneaky right click back here. Problem is that they haven't even like fought there yet, so I think actually like just spamming here a little bit longer is better. Making sure you're maximizing your uptime. I know they have a Pharah, but you have an Ana. Trust in your team there. Like right here, what's happening is you're like really tunnel visioning on that Reaper. You know he's there. The moment you hear the shotguns or the step, you just look back and deal with it. In which you see it now. And you deal with it just fine. Problem is that this whole time you missed out on so much damage on their front line that your Ryan, who's really not doing too hot right now, pushes up and dies. Like this whole time, like just now they're starting that. Okay. I mean, like, while like slower senses are fine, it just looks like it's too slow for you specifically. Personally, from what I'm seeing, it just looks too slow. Now I don't know what I've only used one Sens my entire life. I played on console before. Yeah. Zen's not a hit scan. That's true. But the thing is, Chad, is it doesn't even, when we're looking at this, it doesn't feel like hit scan tracking is going on here. Because maybe it is. Hold up. Maybe there is a misconception here. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. Yeah, wait! You guys picked up on it. I'm so dumb.
Wait, can I say something?
No, not you, no, someone in chat.
No,
Ryan,
can I
you're
say
right.
something?
Oh, you want to say something? Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been playing McCree in the last few weeks, so that
Gotcha.
might be it. That
Okay.
might be it.
Yeah, that's definitely something. I thought your sense was just, it was weird because it didn't.
No, my aim really went down once I started playing McCree, now that I think about it.
Huh. Yeah. I mean, projectile. Forgot to really mention that. That's pretty important. My thing is, like, in general, chat, when I'm looking too, recon flicks and general speed still seems slow. So I didn't really pick up on that. I thought it was just, like, the Sens is really slow for you. Again, I don't really want to focus on aim so much because it's not something I can just fix. I can give you a routine and then hope for the best. And that's why we're just going to keep going here. Okay. Like, that was good. Good shot. Okay, Discord, cool. Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
I really hate Zetel. This room has got me to die so many times.
Yeah, it's a weird room. It's a weird room.
That's why I'm playing so defensive and in the back.
I'm just really aggressive on this room. The thing is, it's like I've just always played this room really aggressively, and I've died because of my own dumb shit. Was it Discord on Baby Diva? What else was he gonna Discord though? Chat. Let's look at this. What else would he Discord? I mean, Ana's already away and out of that line of sight. The only thing he's really gonna get value out of is Discording this Baby Diva, which I'm okay with switching that. There is no Kree. Yeah, your Ryan is insanely questionable. It's almost enough so to merit that you might want to, if you see your tank actually feeding this hard, I would just switch BAP. And just like try to immo him and just really make up for how dumb his shit is right now. But you're saying May? I mean, here's the thing. Eventually that orb's going to break off anyways, and then by the time she closes the distance, it's just not going to happen. Probably gonna be good. I think for min-maxing purposes, maybe you keep it on that, but it's so small that it's just not worth it. But I think, coming back to you, I think the BAP maybe running BAP here would be better, but Zen's fine. Like in terms of just like, I mean, BAP definitely is better fundamentally, but I think Zen's fine for this rank. But
I haven't played Moira in the last 3 days. Should I give up on that and start learning BAP instead? I haven't played both of them.
I think BAP's better right now. Moira will come back, like she always does. But dude, chat giving you props for not abusing BAP. Yeah, I mean, I think BAP's just really good right now.
Okay.
Like BAP, just when your Rhine's feeding that hard. I mean, Moira could work too. It's just BAP is a little bit better because of Immortality Field. So you can really, 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 really make up for his dumb shit. Again, Discord that Diva. Switching it to the Ana is fine. Aim could be a little bit better. That's not your Mayfreeze, so I don't think the trans was good. I think it was Panic.
I got scared from the Ana, but people were going to die, so last here.
Yeah, gotcha. Just wasn't needed in retrospect. Cool. I just want to preface this by there are mistakes here that are like really, really small, but like not worth it. That I'm gonna make a Zen guide next week probably, and I'll like that would be a good thing to watch to make sure that you're keeping up to date. Just wanted to put that out there, not to plug, but just because those guides I put a lot of time into, and it seems like it helps people a lot. Let's keep moving on. But he def has his skill plays. It's not too difficult to get easy. Yeah, that's true. That is true, chat. But to get out of silver, he needs to carry. It's not necessarily that he needs to carry. It's just like he needs to live and get more value. It's not. I think the idea of he needs to carry makes it seem like he needs to be a literal god. But like, it's just a few switches that like it would be just expected of him to do this in plat or in diamond, anyways. I would have kept the Discord on the Zarya because that's what your team's focusing, and she was really low. I get that she's behind a quarter, but that could have been the extra little bit you needed. Ooh, that's there's one. Okay. Make sure you're keeping that heal orb on what's effective here. Your aim is back. It came back. Poggers. Yeah, he has a really shitty Rhine. He can compensate for that for being an even better BAP, is what I'm saying. Here is where your trans would have been better. Your team probably loses the fight here. But then again, she was standing still, but like, I don't care. It looks cool. There were 2 red dinks. I'll take it. Don't be afraid of shooting Zarya Bubble. I'll say it now. Right here.
And not.
Here's the thing. One, Zarya max charge. Don't fucking matter, right?
Okay.
Left clicking this Zarya when it's out of like she's way out of position, right? Your team could fuck this bitch up if you just shoot through this Zarya shield. Because like keeping it up, it's not really, it's helping her more than hurting her. So like there are situations where shooting the Zarya shield more often than not is actually the right play. The problem is in lower ranks, you have all of the sweaty silver border DPS players that peaked in plat in high school and in high school. They peaked in both of those places, right? And they're like, bro, stop shooting the Zarya shields. I can't 1v1 her when I'm out of position. The Zarya is out of position here. If you shoot her, she's dead. She's fucked up, right? This is just one of the situations where like just don't be scared to just take it into your own hands and just like shit on this girl. Like she doesn't have a lot of health. With a Discord on her, she will die fast, especially when you have a Kree still. He might die, but you get what I'm saying. All right, actually, so true. The other two people who play Overwatch at my school say the exact same thing. Yeah, I mean, am I wrong? But you were saying, what's up?
2 things. I'm being pressured by a Reaper, so that's kind of tough choosing which one I should shoot.
I meant more. Here, let's bring it back a little bit. What else?
And I don't trust my aim, so I feel I'm making mistakes to try and compensate for I mean, my aim, if it was better, it could get me out of sticky situations, but...
You know what? You know what's
can't
gonna happen? I'm gonna tell you something, right? And your aim's gonna get significantly better, and you're gonna start hitting more shots. Trust your fucking aim, dude. Trust your fucking aim. You know what I used to do? Not trust my fucking aim. And you know what I used to do? I used to miss shots. Now I kind of trust my aim. Still not all the way there, but I hit more shots. When I do miss shots, I just say, fuck it, I lost shots, need to get better. Here's the thing, right? Aim is a mindset. And I usually keep this until the end, but we're almost there at the end anyways. You need to think about aiming like a mindset. It's like an art. And it's like the way you think about aim is what improves your aim, not actually like hand-eye coordination 100%. It's weird. It's like a mixture of the two. Like all of it, like here's the thing. Kovacs, right? Are you or aim or what, aim lab? You're familiar with that kind of stuff? Yeah, probably.
I am.
Aim trainers?
Yes.
That can teach you mouse control, right? Which will help you with basic hit scan. And that's great. But like you're standing still and the targets are moving at their speed within that aim trainer, and that's pretty much all you do, right? In this game, and in any game you play, you're moving and you're shooting not always hit scan. In this situation, you were shooting projectiles. And there are things that you can pick up on the models that will help you aim by looking at the models. Because right now, like, here's the thing. Don't look at your crosshair. Make sure you're looking at what you're aiming at. That's pretty... I mean, I didn't know that. I learned that after, like, a year of playing this game. I don't know why. The way I was thinking about it was just very faulty. It takes time, obviously. But if you trust yourself, especially in these ranks where you need a carry, like, you'll see results in the long run. And I'll teach you, I'll give you a routine at the end to help you out, and all that sort of stuff. But trusting in yourself, super important, because like when you do trust yourself and you do take the shots on the Reaper, like you'll fuck them up, or the Zarya, you'll shit on these kids. I've seen it in this VOD. Sometimes you whiff out, but everyone whiffs out.
Trust my aim, and then it's bad, and then it seems as if I'm tunnel visioning. So every time I try to take down a
It takes
Reaper,
practice.
it seems as if I'm tunnel vision.
Here's the thing. It's like tunnel visioning on that Zarya is still the right call until she's dead. I mean, the Reaper, obviously, you will switch over to the Reaper then because he's what's on you. Because like tunnel vision isn't about aim, it's more about like this is kind of like what, like that was good. You switched over to the Reaper, that's great. And then yeah, the Zarya dies too. But I'm trying to find the specific. Okay, that's way too far back. Trying to find the specific situation I was talking about here. Okay. Okay, there's a Reaper there, that's great. Wish you had trans here. You destroy that Ana. You mess up the Reaper a little bit. That's good. And then this Ana the Zarya overstays her welcome. At this point, you should be really hard focusing her, shooting that bubble down. But then you get pressured by the Reaper. That's fine. Focus over that. Then that. Like when I guess what you're trying to say, like yes, focusing on that Reaper there is important. Just I've seen a pattern over the game where like bubble will happen and she's way out of position even with bubble, and you don't capitalize on it. So like you can do that. Again, it's situational, but like that was good. And let's just keep moving because I don't know if I'm saying the right things. Right clicking there, I guess, is fine, but who would do that? It's just something to do, I guess. Make sure that you're peeking here. You're not peeking anything right now. You're not maximizing your spam potential when you could be playing this telephone box and maximizing your spam potential and getting more value. And therefore carrying more games and getting even more value to carry even more games. Because now this Ryan, instead of being full armor with a bad nade on him, he is half with no armor and you win the fight pretty much just off your spam to start. You don't even need to focus on your aim there, if that is something that you feel is holding you back. Yeah, a lot of this fight is just where you started and you're not like spamming the right spot. But your team carries, it looks like. Good Discord on the Ryan. Okay, that was fine. Starting positioning could have been better, and then I could have coached a little harder, but that's just something you gotta learn. Okay, that's not really important, but like it's mid-fight transition. Just make sure that you're always getting into a spot at the start of every fight where, like, if you have a choke like this and you're on Zen, give yourself the choke to spam down. Look how much spam you could be getting. I mean, your Ryan's also playing like a little bitch, but tell him to play on the corner. Transers? Nice. This good. Yeah, you guys just win. Not bad aim. Could have been better movement. That's something that could have fixed there, but that's fine. So, like, not awful. Not fantastic. I'm not blown away by the performance, but that's okay. And that's completely understandable. So, let me get the epic pen out. And let me get it so that stream can see it too.
Sometimes we 6-stack, and some of my friends are plats. And when I do play with plats, I usually tend to look for longer sightlines and more spam potential. But when I can't trust my Ana or my Rhine, I play a lot more defensively. So
I would argue that you play even more aggressively, especially in lower ranks when you can do it. But you have, like, that's just a fundamental thing of the character where you have to be maximizing your spam. And if your Ryan's not going to do it, you got to, and especially if he's in chat, like, you got to just tell him to do it. If he's not, then you just rotate out immediately. Like, you have time to rotate back to that spot. Starting with that left click, though, will definitely help you out a lot. But let me do display capture. Everyone can see it. Cool. You're gonna have to go to the stream probably for this one. Okay. First thing, you actually were pretty good about this. Orbs and orb priority. I'm not gonna write out the whole thing, but orbs. Just making sure that your uptime is maxed. And if you have somewhere to write all this stuff down, I really, really, really suggest you do so, because that's a good idea. Or just have the bot up. I don't know. Orbs, mostly, what am I thinking here? Uptime. Keeping that uptime as much as possible and making it on targets that are very effective, like tanks, like in Rhine 1v1s. Orbing the Echo that's flying across the map is not as strong as the Zarya that is just walking at you. Update your software, Paz? Oh, I'll get to that. 2. Trying to think what's more important. The transits could have been better, but it's not the end of the world. They weren't awful. I think just positioning in terms of spamming could have been better. More left clicks, more valuable spam. That was more apparent on defense than offense because your team was kind of rolling, or the fights were kind of quick. Making sure that you're putting yourself in a position where you can see the most of the map and that you can do as much damage as possible, given what your Rhine is doing. Like on offense, first point, your Rhine went left, you went right. Going left there is better just because the Rhine, that's the space the Rhine is giving you safely. While the right side would give you more, we understand that, we went over that. Defense, playing the telephone box or even up top on the high ground, infinitely more beneficial to start because you're getting damage off the rip. If you do end up having to rotate, you do have time to do that. Especially if you're on high ground, because then you can just go behind cover, go up top and then drop back into the position that you would want to. Does Zen have a place in a brawl comp? Not really, but when you're playing against the brawl comp with spam, you want to be spamming as much as possible. That's just the basic character. That's not necessarily compositional wise. That's just how you should play him. Chat. So spamming that long sightline, extremely important. Last thing, I'm gonna say confidence. This is not color coded correctly, and it is making me upset. Confidence. Confidence. And the way that you're going to train your confidence, self-esteem, obviously, in your everyday life. I don't know what's going on in your everyday life, but healthy lifestyles definitely help you with this idea and feeling a good self-esteem. I don't know if you've watched my videos in the past, but my How to Rank Up guide, I do go into talking about a healthy lifestyle and how that really helps your play. And I know it's weird, but exercise somehow will help you play at a higher level. I don't get it. It helped me. Maybe it doesn't help everyone, but like feeling confident about myself physically helped me in game 2, or at least made like how I was feeling. I wasn't as achy, and I felt in. It was easier to get in the zone, I guess is the best way to put it. But to test your or to enhance your confidence in aim, half hour of aim arena a day on whatever character you are choosing to get better at. 30 minutes, and this is for one character at a time. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes. That's just what I used to do when I was in tier 3 playing in open division and stuff. I think half an hour of aim arena helps you not only get better at aiming, but at your movement as well, and your strafing. You'll come to learn that. It doesn't have to be half an hour. I think 15 minutes is a little bit more manageable, but if you're really going for the 100 miles, really want to get better at aiming, I think 30 minutes is really strong. If you have the time to do it. I understand that not everyone has the time to do it. I don't have the time to do it anymore. I just play. But if you're really trying to go for like improving aim, this is what helped me. Just make sure that you're... I think this is just base. Just like base aim with Zen. I think it's a good warm-up. I think on top of this, for specifically Zen, and especially if you're looking for something a little bit more fun, death matches on Zen are probably a little bit better to test aim on. I'm just gonna put death M. The only reason why is because with Zen, the whole hard part about his aiming is like aiming from longer ranges. So I think a little bit of both here. Maybe starting off the day with 15 minutes of aim arena, you can play some ladder and then 15 minutes cooldown of deathmatch. That could help. With BAP, maybe the same. I think it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more effective to use just a half hour of aim arena for BAP. For Ana, it could really go either way. Ana paintball is also very good for that because I know that you also said you liked Ana. But if you're really struggling with aim, I hate to tell you this, but flex support when you're getting to those higher levels really revolve around being confident in the play that you're trying to make, and then going forward with that play, being confident enough in your mechanics to make that play. Certainly on different characters, you could get away with different things and not have as good aim, like with BAP or with Moira. But with characters like Ana and Zen, you really have to be confident that you can pull off the play that you're trying to pull off. Luckily enough, though, right now, the game is so much like a MOBA that the stronger characters are tend to be the ones that don't need to aim in this scenario. But with Overwatch 5 or with Overwatch 5v5, that's probably going to change, and everyone's going to have to aim really well. So might as well take the time now to kind of like start practicing a little bit. Are there any questions that you have or any comments?
Yeah, I want to say something. When I took a break, a pretty long break, I took like a month. I didn't play, and after 2 days of playing straight only Ana and Zen, I reached around 70% scoped accuracy for Ana, which is nuts. I played some Ana today and it was 40%. So I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's because I started playing McCree recently, So should I stop playing McCree and come back to focusing on Zen and Ana? Or is there a way to combine playing?
It really depends. Like, if you really want to, like, a lot of it just comes down to consistency, and if you practice consistently, your aim will become more consistent. Like, if you, I don't know, like, for me personally, if anyone in chat can probably vouch for this, like, my aim, its ceiling is pretty much the same, it just has been a lot less consistent since I've stopped playing in the Path to Pro. And that's a given. Just because I haven't been practicing it as much, I've been taking a break myself. I think it's really important to really focus on one character when you're aim training at a time. I think playing Kree is fine if you enjoy doing that. If you're really trying to improve, I think the better route is to pick one of the two, either hit scan or flex support. And that's really that. I mean, like, I still play Kree from time to time just to have fun, and my support doesn't really take too much of a hit for it. I would really just focus on one role though, so that you can learn the game easier, because it really comes down to learning the game. I don't know if that answers your question at all.
It does, but I wanted to say something. Forgot.
Okay.
I don't know, when I had those days of 70% accuracy, the game was the most fun game I've ever played. Like, it's crazy how much better the game feels.
Yeah.
But those are the days that I peaked 2300, but
Yeah.
my tank placement is really low. It used to be around gold, now it's getting close to bronze. And I feel like if I don't know how to play tank, it's gonna be hard. It doesn't. The tank role doesn't rely on aim, so I feel if I can play tank.
It's the thing is like, from what I saw, like, your game sense wasn't awful, and tank could be a completely different story. For me personally, I think just picking a role and trying to learn the game through that lens is better than trying to learn everything. Personally. Because then you can see how other players that main that role at a higher level think about it, and how they move and stuff. Like for me, I barely played DPS. I peaked 4K on DPS. Because of just me watching other players when I'm like healing, or the way that they think about the game, and I just do that. I think on Reddit, when I see these people that are like, I love all roles, I'm trying to get better at all roles, I think you're kind of hindering yourself in the long run. Because the way that they play is just... Because here's the thing. If you're constantly healing, right, and you're looking at that Reinhardt, and he's the only role model you have, I hate to say it, dude, yeah, your tank's probably going to be closer to bronze. Because if you're trying to do what that guy's doing, that ain't good. I wouldn't really... Like, if you enjoy playing tank, play tank, but I think just focusing on a role is really the best idea. If that's not what you roll with, I think you can also improve playing all roles. I just think your improvement process will probably be more fun and will be quicker if you focus on one thing. Especially like Ana and Zen, they're super fun characters to play the game on. Super fun, in my opinion.
I'm gonna go back to my first 200 levels. I only played support, so I might want to go back to that way.
And dude, if that's the choice you make, and that's what you enjoy, then go ahead. Because like, here's the thing: at the end of the day, you have to enjoy what you're improving on if you're gonna make good improvements. You have to. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're gonna hate it, and then you're gonna improve at a far lesser rate. Again, chat can see it. The last month, or the last even 2 weeks I was in the Path to Pro, I was like, dude, I hate this game. This shit feels like awful to play. I hate waking up thinking that I have to scrim 4 hours as a sub tonight. I really am not looking forward to it. And I did not improve nearly as much as I did when I was really enjoying it. So take the time to really think about the role that you want to play, and if it is support, that's great, because then I can help you a lot more. But I don't think you need to learn tank to be great at support. I think you can learn tank while becoming great at support. Personally. But that's just what I think. Thoughts, questions, comments, concerns?
I think one or two last things. I started playing Overwatch because my friends told me it was a strategy-based game. So, and that's what I enjoy. I enjoy thinking about making plays and generally strategy. But when I see VOD reviews, generally speaking, I don't see how I myself can improve. I don't see after I play the game, I can't see the mistakes I've made, and I don't know. It maybe it that it's just hard to keep that all this information in mind while I'm playing the game. I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to improve if I. It's hard to explain.
I know actually 100% what you're saying here. When you do VOD reviews and then you play the game, it is easy to forget everything that you went over. Easy to do that. 100%. I agree. Well, if you wrote this down, that's kind of what this is for. You can look over it and be like, Orb's uptime. Okay, I kind of understand what that's saying. I'm going to try it. And the other thing is, when you go through VOD reviews and you constantly do it, and you put the time in and you feel like you're still not improving, that's another thing. I completely understand that. That shit is really annoying. And you have to figure out, like, what it is that's going to really help you think about it better. Like, here's the thing. Did you write it down, lay this stuff down? Do you have it somewhere?
I did.
If not,
It's
if not,
no,
just screenshotting it. Well, here's the thing. Okay, let's go over this. I'll give you priorities on what you really need to be doing. I kind of put it out of order. The big thing, looking for angles that you can spam. If you're the next time you play, I want you to only look at spam. That's it. I want you to look at your spam angles, think about ways that you could be more effective and boost your uptime. And if you feel like in that session you're like, okay, I'm doing that a little better, you can maybe put orb uptime in on tanks. You can maybe start thinking about that. But I want you to only focus on spam. That's it. Aim arena, you're not really focusing on that. That's just something that you can kind of put into your sessions. So like, okay, every now and then you do that. This isn't something you need to think about. Just, you can work on that over time. So here's the thing with VOD reviews of other people, and I hate to bash on my other colleagues that do educational content, but it's like they'll come in to a plot review, they'll be like, yeah, I used to be a GM tank player. I know this game like the back of my fucking wrist. I'm fucking awesome. I hit top 500 once. I'm gonna teach you guys how to play. Thanks for letting me in. And they will talk all this shit the entire time and overload you with information. Here's the thing. While it looks like I only gave you 2 things, there were a lot of things that you could have done better. But here are the most important things that you need to get better at first, so that I can then tell you more things to get better at. Does that kind of make sense? Try to take it one step at a time, and really try to dissect the information that's given here. Because here's the thing, if you tried it, like I personally tried to do this, trying to fix these 2 things at once is nearly impossible. It seems simple and easy, but it's really not. It really isn't, especially if it's something that you're not used to doing. Just don't overload yourself. And if it would help more to give you like examples of place where like good angles to spam from, I'd be more than willing to do that as well. If you want me to do that.
Don't want this to get too long, but I had one last thing I wanted to. What was it? Damn it! Oh man, I had a really important question. Yes. I mean, I'm right now in silver. I used to be in gold.
Okay.
What is? I don't think the difference. I can't see what huge mistake I myself, a silver player, am making that a GM Masters player doesn't. I can't see a huge difference. Maybe it's not being aware to the way I play, but I can't see the mistake that makes me a silver player.
Okay, well I can tell you that right now. It's not, here's the thing, with your play, it's not really one glaringly obvious thing. Everyone is different. That Rhine, it was glaringly obvious. Like, that dude is playing way too fucking aggressive. Alright? here's the thing. It's the culmination of a lot of small things that you're doing wrong in the character that kind of add up. Okay? I'm telling you straight up, if you look at this and you really fix this spam thing, you will climb. You will definitely climb. 100%. Because everything about this rank is taking what you were given and getting as much value as you can to yourself. And not diminishing your value by getting too greedy and dying yourself. So playing that telephone box, even if your Ryan isn't playing super far up, you can try to tell him that. If he doesn't, that's cool, whatever. You play around it. What else can you do then? Well, you can play the high ground and spam from there, or you can still spam from the telephone box and rotate back to that choke. I'm telling you, that's going to change fights. Like, that will change, because the silver players will not adapt to that. They will not. They will keep running into you and not understanding the mistake, and that's that. How can one improve his awareness? It takes time. And the thing is, that's why we do VODs chat, because then I can kind of point out the things that they're doing wrong, and then eventually it clicks, and it's like, holy shit, I understand what you're talking about now. In this situation, it's really difficult because you just have to take it in slow bits. Like, here's the thing. Like, your orbs were great, but the problem is like, that's not what Zen excels at either. So, like, while your orbs are really good, and that's, like, when you get to a point where you fix this glaring mistake, the orbs will probably just give you another rank. I'm going to be completely honest with you, because this is something that a lot of, like, high-level Zens struggle with orb placement. So, eventually, you'll find, wow, my orbs are carrying now, because they have more value. In Silver, they don't really have as much value with healing, but the Discords do. This is why I'm saying that spam is really important here, because just getting more value and not being as idle, not tunnel visioning on that Reaper. While you know that Reaper's coming in the back line, keep dealing damage to the enemy Ryan's shield, or give Discord to the Ryan. Like, get more value there, and then focus with the Reaper when he gets there. Because all that time that you're focusing on that Reaper that's rotating around to your back line, their Ryan is winning the duel so much harder than your Ryan. Even though your Ryan could be doing just better, you can't rely on that, because it's just down there, like down in lower elos, there's just way too much going on that just can't be solved. There's too much of a lottery going on. You can't expect a lot out of it. So while it might not seem like you spamming at that telephone box is a big deal, Zen inherently as a character, that is a really big mistake that you need to fix as soon as you can. And then orbs can come after that. Because then we could then go over your positioning and rotation problems, because you set yourself up in the good starting position. Does that kind of, like, it's a building block thing. While you want to see the light at the end of the tunnel, you can't do that unless you fix the basic stuff first.
Sense.
I get.
Yeah, I get it now.
And if you, like, in a week's time, you don't see improvement here, I will be more than likely at no charge. I will look over like 15 minutes of your gameplay, and then I will tell you what's going on. If you go over all this stuff. Because it would be very surprising to me for you to not hit at least your peak after this. Like, because I don't think you deserve to be silver. Personally. That didn't look like silver gameplay to me. Personally.
Okay, that's great to hear. I mean, last month of playing was quite frustrating. I rage quit. Like, I stopped playing after 2 games. I used to play for hours on end, but the game has been less fun. And so
Yeah.
I hope start to play only support again, and only Zen and Ana again would help.
Yeah. And when you do lose 2 games in a row, take those breaks. Do your aim arena for the day. Make sure that you're keeping yourself in a good mental space, and you're focusing on improvement, and you're having fun. I 100% agree with everything you're saying there. And I'm being 100% transparent here. It would surprise me if you do not see success within the next week. If you do the things that I told, or that I am putting here, it would definitely surprise me. Because it didn't look like so blatant that you were like not deserving of where you are, that you should lose SR. So That's my personal opinion. I really do think, like, when you fix this spam, this, like, starting thing, you'll start seeing other mistakes, and it'll be a domino effect. What is Aim Arena? Just look in custom games, type in Aim Arena, and if it's up, it's up. If not, I have codes in all my character descriptions chat that you can look up. If you have any other questions, just let me know. You are in my Discord now, so if you do actually have any other questions, I can answer those too.
One last question.
Okay.
I started playing the first hero I played was Zen, and then I really fell in love with Ana.
Yes.
I would have loved you to see one of my an Ana gameplay, but I couldn't find the code. So
Okay.
just generally speaking, is there anything that I don't know if this is possible again, but from viewing my Zen gameplay, is there anything that might carry over to Ana that you think I should focus on too?
Positioning, kind of. Sleep darts on tanks and antis on tanks. The same kind of thing with discords.
Makes sense.
I hate to plug my content, but my Ana guide fucking slaps, dude. I ain't gonna lie, that shit slaps, and I don't know if you've watched it. And if you haven't, that's fine.
I haven't.
I will send you that link. I'm telling you, that shit slaps. I'm telling you, confidence chat, that shit slaps. And like, if that doesn't help, and you still are struggling with Ana, just let me know, because Ana's that's just my bread and butter. That's what I'm known for. A useless character in pro play, but a fun character. Let's go. Okay, I'll send that to you though. Ana and Zen are kind of like they're similar. I used to think they were really, really similar, like extremely similar, like they were almost the same character, just one did more damage and one did more healing, but they're quite different. I think if you really look at this like starting idea of spamming and trying to get more value in like early fight and not tunnel visioning, I think your mind will open up to the other ideas that we're getting at, like positioning, like cooldown management and other stuff.
Which is way more interesting in my opinion.
Yeah. The thing is like, while calc, I don't think calc's interesting. Some people think calc's interesting, but in order to do calc, you have to know how to do basic math, Algebra 1, which then teaches you, or no, pre-algebra, which then teaches you Algebra 1, and then Algebra 2, sum of geometry, then you need to do pre-calc, then you need to do all this other shit, and then you can take calc, which is the fun stuff for some people. It's the same thing with Overwatch. In order to really hone in on, like, min-maxing every ability when you're using it, all this other stuff that goes super in-depth, far beyond Tier 2, you have to get the basics down. The basics will carry you to at least 3.5. It will. Because it's so, like, this game is so fundamental, well, right now, it's so fundamentally challenging that you really need to put your all into this stuff. Which, I get it, it can be boring at times, but, I mean, shouldn't be as hard to learn then. Theoretically. Anything else?
That's all I need, I believe. So.
Well, I really enjoyed the VOD. I think I did decent. I'm probably going to put this up on YouTube. It was rather long. Is there anything that you want to plug before we go?
No. I want to apologize for the just sneak that in, and thank you a lot. Seriously, really.
Yeah, no problem. And if you have any other questions, just don't be afraid to just pop something in Discord or DM me. I'm more than willing to help. I will send you the link then to the Ana Guide after. But if that's everything that you've got, I gotta plug a few things of my own, guys. If you guys did enjoy this VOD, you didn't make it all the way through, and a whole hour and 15 minutes, I think you might want to get checked, because that's a pretty long YouTube video, but I appreciate it. If you want to get your own VOD here live on stream, you can go over to Fiverr. I just opened up a gig there, $10 for one VOD. If you're not interested in that and you want to have more of a lottery, you could sub on Twitch to have a chance to get picked every week. You probably have a pretty good chance of doing that at the start, but who knows, maybe Fiverr starts popping off and you really need to start doing that. I don't know. But if you're interested, $10 an hour over at Fiverr. Twitch.tv/PatSwagger for VODs. every week. Not specified on which date. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I do stream at 4 p.m. though. But until next time, guys, I gotta peace out and Paz out. See you in the next one. Much love for watching the vid. Peace.